Okay, you cheeky peeps. It's another Wednesday afternoon, or in Ben's land, evening going on to the next day, and welcome
It's
to
already
another.
Thursday.
Oh, for God's sake. Welcome to another episode of Camera and Flask. I'm Jem Schofield, and this is my channel, and we talk about cameras and lighting and gear and all kinds of nerdy stuff like that. And we do this every week at 3 p.m. Pacific time. We do this every week at 6 p.m. Eastern time. It's the same time, it's just in a different place. And then at midnight, at this time of year, in the Czech Republic. Is that correct?
That is correct. 11 p.m. in the UK, midnight here.
And then in the beautiful Midwest of the country, it's 5 p.m. for Caleb, and there we are.
Dot.
How's everybody doing? How are you, Caleb? How's it going this week?
Good. Turned 31. Got a weird bump on my eye.
Wait. Hold on. Are you saying that we don't? Because you don't have your birthday on social. So we actually missed your birthday. This is not a good situation. Okay.
Birthdays for me are like,
Yeah, okay, so I think we're going to handle that. So that's why the comment the other day. So let's just get that on the calendar from now on. I'm not happy that I didn't know about that. And let's sort that out. Between the three of us, we need to know when our birthdays are.
There you go.
Okay?
Yeah, I need to know when y'all's are, too. So
I'm September
get
15th.
that taken care of.
So there you go. And
I had a weird just bump show up. Itchy bump on my eye. It's like a mosquito bite on my eye. So that's... And Jem and I were texting back and forth just about, just dumb getting old stuff.
Yeah.
Sure, there's a curve there, and I'm at the beginning, or middle, just when things,
it's
every year there's something else.
You got a lot to look forward to, I'll tell you that much.
Oh, boy.
And how are you doing, Ben?
I'm all good. Having a great week until I started doing this challenge.
Well, let's soften the blow a little bit, and let's find out what you're drinking, Ben. What are you drinking this week? Come on, wait, hold on. What do we got here? We got a starter, €5 from the Shiz. Come on.
Oh, boy.
Shiz nuts in the house. Thank you. Love it.
Amazing.
But wait, cheerfully.
Right.
Okay, good. Okay, love it.
I heard his... Oh.
What?
Well, let's go.
Oh, come on.
Focus. Gotta hide that face.
Let's go. Yeah.
Yes, sir.
All
right.
Okay. So this is a Chianti from Lidl that I picked up this last week, and normally Lidl is great for wine, and this is a serious exception to that. It's pretty rank, to be honest, but it's just, I mean, it's drinkable. It's one of those that the first sip, oh, that's not good. But you get over yourself pretty quickly with that. And just
life is too short after a challenge like this to be drinking crappy stuff. Yeah.
Okay. I'd
Okay.
have gone all out had I known how bad this was going to be when I went shopping last week, you see.
Here's our boy Rob coming in with a $5 Canadian.
Wow.
The coffee fund just keeps growing. He wants to be at the top of the he wants the top of the plaque. Yeah, I love it. Beautiful. Love it. I'm glad you're here. Hello, fine people. Small Brown Fox, Rob, Shiz, Daniel, Bart, of course, who's been working his ass off in the yard laying pipe. He's sitting down, probably drinking. We've got Oliver. We've got Jake. We've got Robert. We've got IO Digital, a lot of people who are here, Master Stroke Media. Hello to everybody, Sam. Let's find out what Caleb is drinking. What's it going to be this week, Caleb?
Well, most of you will probably instantly figure out what that is.
It's the top of an empty bottle. Oh, no, it's not.
Hey, look at how full that is.
Whoa.
All right.
What was that,
Right.
maple syrup in
Maker's
there?
Mark.
Fill that up with something. Drinking
Water
some
with
Kentucky
some food coloring.
bourbon barrel ale for Harrison. Beautiful. Excited for this challenge as librarian, former archivist. This is right up my alley. Yes, Neil, for sure. Too early for me to have a drink, but soon I will join. Aaron, you don't have to drink a leaded drink. You can have any drink you want, and we don't judge here. We just like
And
our
welcome,
alcohol.
Aaron's great. He had his awesome idea for the one of his hacks is in my Rode hack video. It's using Rode Micros as wireless headphones. That was from him.
Oh yeah.
Oh, was it really? That's great.
Yeah.
I don't know what kind of pipe are we talking about, David. I don't smoke a pipe of any sort, and never. Well, I've tried a regular pipe, but not those kinds of pipes. That's just my jam. But what are you gonna do? There's plenty of it around here in Oregon, though. I'll tell you that. 1% milk for IO Digital, and then Neil's gonna grab a seltzer to get in the spirit. Is that going to be a White Claw or is that going to be a seltzer? I capped a bottle of Makers last week, now on the Jack Daniels. Okay, tip of the hat. We got some stuff. Laying pipe. Oh, yeah, he was laying pipe at his house.
This is maybe another transatlantic.
Don't be cheeky. Yeah. This is what I'm having for the challenge. I'm doing the Cognac Glenlivet 14. We don't have to spend a lot of time on it. I drink it semi-often. It's delicious. Let's go ahead and cheers and get on with this challenge.
Cheers.
Slàinte. Let's go.
Cheers.
Here we go. Thank you for that, small brown fox. Oregon equals deliverance. Yeah, and one flew over the cuckoo's nest. Let's just keep it going. Okay, so our fine friend in the Midwest, Mr. Caleb Pike of DSLR Video Shooter, came up with his mad mind at the end of last week's episode. How about we do a time machine challenge? It sounded innocent enough at the time. It sounded exciting at the time. We'll go back in time to a particular year, and we will find product on B&H's website, and we'll build a kit. How much do we have? Caleb says we have $10,000 US. And can we have a link, Caleb? Yes, we can. December 1st, 2012, B&H's website, Wayback Machine, and we are dumped onto the homepage. And, of course, the first thing I did was type into the search box a product, and nothing came up. Blank page. Oh, that wasn't snapshotted. Then I started to go into categories, and I would find out sometimes that wasn't actually archived. Sometimes I would get a page in another language. Sometimes I would start to find something and then find out that there was just a dead end. It was like the worst maze that you've ever gone into that has different levels, and then you find yourself back at the beginning. And it was really, really, really frustrating. I would say that by far, for me personally, I spent 3 to 5 times longer on this challenge than any other kit challenge. And when I came out of it, I actually felt great. I felt like
you strangled and no, it felt like you wrestled down a bear.
A bear, yeah.
A bear, and then trained it.
Yes,
and then had a tea party with it, and by the end you're like, "Yeah, I just did that. That was amazing."
My pinky was out at the end, and I was like, "I wrestled that bear," and that's what happened. And I have to say, it was immensely satisfying for me personally. It was also nostalgic to go back to 2012. That was a big time, as you remember, around NAB. This was sort of like the rock star years of the Central Hall really officially having changed from just a broadcast hall for production to all of the stuff that was in and around. It was sort of the heyday, right? So we had, by 2009, there was a start of a change. You're going from 5D Mark II. Then you have 10 and 11. Everybody's getting their sea legs. By 2012, it was just rocking and rolling in the Central Hall. You had the Teradek Cube, and all of the crazy stuff was going on, and it was fun. So it was good. Yes,
it was my first NAB as well, so it was kind of
even better,
very poignant. Yeah.
Now, just a few other guidelines here. You can go back in time a little bit, because what happens is as you start to go through the Wayback Machine, sometimes you'll find that you'll go into a section and it's not keeping you on December 1st, 2012. You might go back a couple of months. You might go forwards a month or two. So the guidelines were you could go back in time a little bit. You can go forwards in time as long as it was before April 1st, 2013, before NAB of the following year, because pretty much anything that was on the site at that point in time was product that was available. You could not choose product that was going to be released after April 1st as well. So it couldn't be a pre-order coming summer of 2013. And then I think that's pretty much it, $10,000 US. Only other exception is because it was so incredibly hard to find. Yes, they are COS headphones. Of course they are, Small Brown Fox. You could go to an external site and buy a lens adapter for up to $500 US, but it had to be within the $10,000 budget. And I think, is that really the guidelines, Caleb? Is there anything that I've missed inside of there? Please let me know.
No, sounds good.
Well, this is a beautiful thing. So I have all of our challenge lists up and running. Please keep the chat fun, you cheeky people, and not too fun, though, Small Brown Fox. Shiz and 360 grad.
360 grad.
Yeah, 360 grad coming in. It's somewhat out of nowhere. He'll drop something.
Chat people, something to talk about. I would love to hear, since we're talking about 2012, what was the biggest, most expensive purchase you made in 2012? Because I feel like as I was going through this, it's so much nostalgia of what was coming out, but also at that time, I'd been doing my blog for 2 years. And was still like crazy broke.
Yep.
And I'm for two reasons. One, I was just broke. Two, everything was so expensive. Like going back, like looking at certain adapters, there were like maybe 2 or 3 options, and one would break your camera, and the other costs like $800.
Yeah.
It's amazing how far we've come. Amazing.
It is.
It was a big shock, and that was the year. That was the reason I went to NAB, because it was the year that I decided I'm going all in on video. I'm going to go really research this stuff. I'm going to sit in seminars. So I was looking at Canon, Sony. That's how I met Jem, because we both bought the FS700, and I took some of your classes, and then we were both whining about the like the game pods had that little chirping noise on them.
Yeah, I'm sure they still do. Talking. The audio chirp.
Yes.
I'm not even going to acknowledge 360 Grad's comment. It's just going down. It's unbelievable. Everybody else can read it. So here, just out of control. I don't even know what to say. They do have television shows about that kind of stuff. Okay, so we are going to get started here. I have the 3 challenge lists. I have not seen any of the products that you, Caleb, or Ben have chosen, because I purposely asked you to have your cover page just say what the challenge was with your name. So I just dumped these PDFs into Ecamm. So as we go through these, we are going to see these for the first time. And I'm wearing these COS headphones because probably back in 2012, now these are older, but they're good. So let's start with Ben, if that's okay.
Right.
And I'm going to switch over. Everybody can let me know if you're seeing everything, but it should all work. Boom. We have the 2012 B&H Time Machine Challenge. This is Ben's list. I am on the first page, and Ben, you are going to tell me when I am going to move to the following page. You're going to take us through this. We're probably going to make comments. I don't know. I might come back to us. I might not. But I think we've got a lot of pages to get through in the next 45 minutes. Yeah.
Okay. All right. So I'm going to just say from the beginning that I had an idea of products that I wanted to put in this list, and you just cannot find them using this method. It is just impossible. You get a product category. There's maybe 20 pages. And you have to just go through it page after page after page. And it's slow. And then you'll get to page 7 of 20. And then it'll just go, no, I've not indexed that one. And then you're lost. And you can't go back. So at the end, I have gone down trying to find things that are in kits. That's sort of been my strategy. Find kits, because it's less shit to go and search for. If I can get stuff that's packaged together, that's going to help me. All right, so let's get into it. I've gone through it in the same order that you have, Jem, from your sort of category list that you put up. So we're starting with grip.
Wait, so should I go
to page 2?
Yeah. Okay. Here we go.
Page 2 just says grip. We can even go to page 3.
Okay, let's do it. All right, here we go. Hold on. Oh, there it is. Okay, take us through.
So, and again, just a lot of the stuff hasn't indexed photos, so you're not going to be able to see what this is. But this is a Pearstone video tripod system, and I have no idea if this is any good or not. But it was getting to the end of the budget, and that's what I picked. This is a fluid tripod 2-stage, I think. 2-stage legs. It looks a briefy thing. It looks all right. I did Google it properly to make sure it was gonna do the job. So that looks fine. $130, bargain. Go on, let's rattle through this. This is dull stuff. Light stand.
Yep, light stand.
Next page.
Yep.
And reflector holder, which I'm going to use as a boom to put a mic on. That's what I'm using that for.
And how much is that? Okay, it's a little tiny over here.
$79.95.
Perfect. Okay.
$79.95. That one. All right, let's go to the next one. So this is just an air cushioned light stand.
Yeah.
$32.95. All right, let's keep going. So, in the spirit of my just trying to find kits, just to try to give me a little bit of relief from the frustration of this entire search, I've gone through the Matthews C+ Survival Kit. Includes single, double scrims, artificial silks, flags, arms, grip heads, C-stands, bangs, case, the whole lot. Now, this is expensive, but it saves a huge amount of work. This is $1,349.
But you have two products above that, too. So you have the 18x24 and the 24x36.
No, these aren't my things. This is just, like, I'm showing you the list because that's the product that I've chosen in that list.
Oh, okay. So the other products above and below it are not products that you purchased. So you just got the C+ Survival Kit, so the $13.49 gets added. Okay.
Exactly, and let me explain why.
Okay.
Because when you click on this, it's not indexed. So this happened a couple of times. So if you move on to page 7,
hold on,
which is
so
this is just a big 7-in-1 reflectors and diffusion.
Yep.
I've really bought that for diffusion, just an easy thing. Look at the price of that, though, compared to what those are these days. $114.95.
Hey, now. And you don't get 4. Right now, you could actually buy 4 of them nowadays. Like 4, like in the picture. Actual 7-in-1s. Yeah, exactly. Okay. If they were if they were newer with 2 E's, you could probably buy about 6 of them. Okay, we're going on.
16, 32,
16. Yeah, exactly. Okay, page 8. Ooh.
Page 8, I'm slightly out of kilter. This is the listing. This is from, ignore the price. This is just that same product still exists. That's that product from 2 slides ago.
Wait, hold on.
I've got it out of order.
I'm a little, but wait, that says $17.29.75.
That's today.
That's today.
Oh, it was cheaper back then?
And fun fact,
Tell me.
I found that with a lot of projects or products. So stuff today, if it's more grip expendables, things like that, flags and things, they're more expensive today than they were.
Interesting.
Yeah.
A lot of stuff's going down, but there's a lot of stuff that I don't know if it's being used less because we have more control with our light or with our fixtures out of the box. But I found that with a lot of stuff. Like I was expecting, I can sneak that in the kit, and then I would look and I'd be like, snap, that's interesting.
Okay, all right, let's get that's interesting. Yeah.
So it gives you a lot of options all in that one pack, and just saves you having to go searching any further.
All right, let's take a look at comments. Hold on one second.
Okay.
We've got some comments because somebody. Okay, somebody in 2012 was a sophomore in high school. Okay, that doesn't make me feel old. And I have been on hold with Lowe's for 40 minutes. There's a lot of stuff going on right now. I hope people are checking out our list, the World War II film comments and all kinds. Okay, let's go. Next page, page 9, lighting. And we're my favorite category. We're going in, and we're now on page 10.
This is the biggest change, I think. I know if you two found the same thing, just how, I think we did reference this last week. This is where we've got massively enriched with what we can have for a lot less money now.
Yep.
Lighting tonight, to get anything with any punch is just really, really difficult. This was essentially a bit of, I don't really know anything about this light. I've never used it. flight panels. Looked like it had a reasonable output, daylight balanced, but $600. So expensive.
But hold on a second. I'm reading the description here. It says the fixture will provide 15-foot candles, 160 lux at a distance of 6 feet. Oh boy.
Yeah.
I don't know about decent. I don't know. I don't know if the word
this
decent.
Is an additional. No, this is an additional. All right, let's go. Okay. Let's move on to the next ones.
I want to stay on that one, but that's okay. Here we go.
All right. So this, again, in the spirit of me just trying to find things that all come in a box that I don't have to go searching for loads of accessories for. This has got. They're essentially like the Kinoflow style lights. These are the fluorescent tube lights.
Yeah.
Apologies, no picture again. And this is a 3-light kit. So the more powerful one has 2, and it has the slightly low powered one, the single. And again, gone for the daylight balance. So I thought that was a reasonably flexible kit.
Yeah, that's a fair amount of output. It says the equivalent to a hot light output, though of course we know with flows that's a little funky. Is the 2 smaller ones are a 1K, and then the larger one is equivalent to 1500 watts.
Other way around, it's two of the more powerfuls and one of the
is that right?
Less powerful. Yeah.
Okay, well that's good. Okay.
So I think for the money, that's flexible. You can use. They're pretty flexible lights to use. They're a soft light source. Still get used a lot these days. Kinoflows. So I thought that was an all right place to go. But I was kind of lost starting to look for this stuff.
Okay.
This was really hard. All right.
Here we go.
Audio.
Here we go. Page 13.
Page 13. Exciting one.
There
Shock
it is.
Mount.
Good. I like it. Okay.
All right. This next one.
Oh, we're starting to get some insight now. Things which I don't know if you should have left this till the end. Interesting.
No. Have you moved on to 14 already and shown it?
Yeah, I have. Hold on.
Did I say move on to 14?
Scrub
past that.
What?
Scrub. All right. No. We'll.
No. I'm back on 13. I'm back on 13. I'm back on 13.
Back on 13.
Do you want me to jump fast? Maybe nobody saw it.
Jump to 16 for me, if you can, quickly.
Oh, whoa. Holy moly!
Balls.
What is going on here?
Harrison.
This is ridiculous. Come on. Right. Wait, hold on a second. You got to just hold. We're not on product here.
Whoa.
This is ridiculous. What is going on here? Come on, Harrison. That is ridiculous.
$50.
I'm moving it around. It's dancing on the screen over here. There it is, right over my face. Harrison, you're awesome. Thank you so much for supporting the channel. It means so much to us, and we're glad you're here at the show. And that is some serious stuff. Rob, I don't know about that plaque. Let's keep working. I'm just messing around. Okay. That's super awesome. Okay, we're back to you, Ben. I'm still on the shock mount. Am I supposed to jump 2 pages?
Go straight to 16. Yeah.
I'm going to try 16. It's not, it's not, hold on. This is really hard. Okay, I'm on 16. And what language is this in? Oh, it's in English.
Exactly.
Okay. No,
exactly.
Is it? No, it's not.
It's not in English. So this is me trying to find a mic cable. An XLR cable.
Yeah.
Like this is at the point where my frustration peaked to the point where I've got that whiteboard over there. There's a whiteboard rubber. I chucked it across the room and screamed simultaneously.
Oh,
and I just thought I would show you this because this was the point at which I just got so hacked off with the whole fucking exercise. Yeah. So I haven't got a mic cable in. Caleb's going to buy me one for putting me through all this trauma.
There we go. Okay. Are we going back to 15 or what's happening here?
No, we'll come back to it at the end when we get onto cameras.
It's not very easy to go back. I mean, I have to go 1 page at a time, but I'm going to do it. No.
I have it listed later on.
Oh, okay. All right. I'm at lenses now. I'm on the word lenses. Am I allowed to move forward?
Yeah, you can go to 18. Yeah. Okay. All right. So who remembers the name Bauer?
Oh,
yes, of course I did. Oh, here we are. There we go. Okay.
So Bauer, for those of you that were still in high school, which it seems some of you were in 2012. Bauer was one of the many names that the Rokinons and Samyangs were marketed under. And although I don't think they exist anymore, I think Bauer disappeared, didn't it? Anyway, they're the same lenses. Yeah. So I've gone for a trio of theirs. So a 35-1.4.
Wait, give me a second. I'm thanking Harrison again. Here we go. At page 19. So we got a 35-1.4. Yep, we're on page 19 now.
85-1.4.
Yeah.
On page 19. And then page 20. This is another one that didn't actually link through, but it's a 14mm 2.8.
Mm.
Again on the Bauer. So now we can go to camera.
That was the I'm broken, need a wide angle lens.
Have you ever used? Oh, are they? I've never used those lenses. Are they good?
I mean, for the time, it was like amazing. It's like, what is this? Now, like Leiawa is like the way to go, but back then that was amazing.
Oh, now it's Leiawa, not Lawa. Wow, it's got fancy pronunciation.
I don't know.
All right,
I don't know.
I don't know. I don't know how to.
Gerald Undone, where I'm like studying this stuff and calling it a manufacturer and all this kind of
thing. You're so modest. Okay, camera. Am I allowed to go to the next page?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. So you can go there. You can go to the camera.
I am very interesting. Okay. I have a story about this, but I will wait till my list. It's interesting. Okay.
So I've never shot on this camera, but it was always interesting to me. And I deliberately didn't watch your video on it. I deliberately didn't watch your video on it because when I did search for it, it came up and I went, no, I'm not going to watch that because then I'll let you then stick the boot in person. So the interesting thing to me with this is that it's full frame.
Mm-hmm.
In 2012, this was full frame.
I love how Caleb goes, I'm going to go back. Caleb's like, Okay, go ahead. I'm listening. Go ahead. I'm listening.
That's kind of all. That was what was interesting to me with it. So I thought, do this. I can then put the Metabones adapter on, which is the 20th on 23. And then there is also in my budget, but I've also applied the same rule that you decided upon when you couldn't find find the Metabones on B&H's site for the XLR adapter for this camera, which was $800. Which one of those slides that we jumped over earlier was actually a piece about that from, I think, Cinema 5D, talking about that particular product and its price at the time of launch, which was $800. So
am I allowed to move
for it?
Wait, am I allowed to go to page 23? So you basically took matters into your own hands and you came up with some stuff.
The whiteboard incident happened and he's like, you know what? I'm done with this.
Yeah, as long as it's in the budget, I can do it. I'll go to Cinema 5D. I'll find something. And, you're resourceful like everybody else in production. So I appreciate that.
So I've stayed within the spirit of the rules of it, is in that I found out what the list price of it was at the time. So it was certainly not going to be any less than that.
Wait, what mount were your lenses? What mount were your lenses?
Canon.
So how are you adapting this to this?
With the... Yeah,
because we have an A mount adapter, a lens whacking. You're lens whacking either A mount or E mount.
No.
What?
That'll do that. It's an EF to NEX. That'll mount on that.
Where is
Metabones adapter on 23?
You have
a normal Metabones adapter.
Okay, you have it. So you're covered A mount. You can do A, E, and EF mount. Oh, you're good. No, this is good.
No, I don't think it comes with the adapter.
But wait a minute, where did you?
The A, does it?
Where did you find this? You actually found this adapter on the site?
No, I went to Metabones directly.
Oh, you did. Okay, so you cheated. You went outside for both the adapter and for that other audio thing. Is that right? Kind of.
Yeah, I did.
Okay, fine. Okay,
exactly
but it's on there.
It's on there.
Yeah.
And is it within the amount? Am I allowed to go to page 24, or what's the deal?
24 is go to 24. That's my totals.
Oh, here we are. Okay, less than $10 left. $9,990.22. Okay, we're coming back to the 4-up. So, Caleb, any comments?
Yeah,
on the
I want to
camera.
hear your comments on the camera.
Tell us. Be honest.
Is it
when
really
did,
awful?
when did the A7S come out?
No, it came
Quite a-
2014.
yeah,
Yeah, you and I were talking about that.
So
Yeah,
2 years later. Okay.
Yeah.
So that I actually did do a video. So if you want to see me with hair and thinner, living in Chicago, go back, check that out.
Mm-hmm.
But in short, I would love to see actually Sony bring that line back. They had a bunch of weird camcorders with large sensors.
Yeah.
But they all had, true to Sony, the worst data rates ever.
Yes.
So that camera in HD, I believe the highest quality you would get is 28 megabits a second.
That's correct. Yep.
Wow.
And then
FS.
yeah, and it was incredible. If you were, and it was appropriate for the time. Back then, most people were like, just give me the big sensor and the shallow depth of field. That's all I care about.
Yeah.
Myself included. So it gave you that, gave you long record times, but the image was like mushy, and it had this crazy effect where it was like, so you know the weird flaring you get when you lens whack, or you've got a scratch on your lens.
Yeah.
There was like a light leak inside of the lens mount. So if you had any light coming toward the lens, you would get some weird stuff, and it's in my review. It looked kind of cool, but it was like, how is that even getting in there? So that was the deal with that camera.
Wow.
And it was, plasticky, only 3.5 millimeter in. But I love the idea, and I still to this day kind of dig the concept. Slightly bigger than a mirrorless. Give me the top handle. A big sensor.
What the thing was? It was between that and the XF100, which I actually owned at the time, and that was a really easy. But I wanted something that I could put lenses on. But
you could get a cool looking image out of it.
Yeah.
And I thought about actually buying one, and bringing it back. And then the monitor on that camera was awful, and it was like the consumer flip out screen and all that.
It's got to be better than the monitor. Got to be better than the monitor on the EVA 1.
Like the mushy, but the mushy like buttons that aren't touch but aren't an actual button.
Yeah. It's like you're pressing rubber, and then there's no kickback or anything. There's nothing.
It's like the button at the gas station where you're like receipt, and you're like,
that's exactly
go through. If I hit it again, it's gonna like screw everything up.
It's ridiculous. Well, speaking of the camera that you picked, Ben, I went through about 4, maybe 5 cameras to build what was going to wind up being my kit. And that's why part of it took so long, because you go down one path and then you realize that all the pieces of the puzzle don't fit. But I was set on the EA50U from Sony in the beginning, which is an APS-C based camera that's kind of like the camera that you picked, but it's a smaller sensor. EA50U.
That thing.
And so I was going down the road and I was thinking, this could work. I could do E-mount lenses. I could do all of this stuff. And then there was, first of all, it doesn't have built-in NDs, which was kind of a little crappy. But then there was something else about the camera that was absolutely ridiculous in terms of its functionality or lack thereof. And it was sort of like, as soon as I saw that, and I watched this video with Dan Chung, doing a news shooter thing at NAB, going over the camera with somebody in China from Sony. And he mentioned something, I can't even remember what it was because I was so in the weeds at that point. But I said, there's no way in hell that I'm buying that camera. And then at the same time, I remembered that I tested that camera at one point, and the image was such dog poo. It was like the dog poo of dog poos in a brown paper bag that had been lit on fire and stepped on somebody's front porch. So I went away from the EA50U. But you got to check it out. There's some fun stuff up there that Sony was trying to do back then.
That's another one of those like weird fringe cameras that on paper you're dumbfounded by.
They were going after
it was a professional ENG camera with a big sensor, but it was all that wrong sauce from Sony.
And they had that zoom rocker, and they bundled it with that one lens. And there was just something, I can't even remember what it was, but it was ridiculous. But that camera was great for videographers because it did have a larger sensor. If you could feed it with as much light as you were feeding a regular video camera, you weren't getting necessarily a worse image than what you were getting out of the standard small chip, 1/3 inch chip cameras out there. So it was a really interesting camera. So, I was happy that they made it. They just never carried through. And let's get on to my list. Should we do it?
Let's do it.
I'm ready for the heckling. Here we go. So we're going to go over here.
I should say real briefly, overall, Ben, solid. You got some Kinos in there.
Yep.
You got soft light and shallow depth of field. What was your lens again?
The Bauer 3-lens set.
35-1.4, 85-1.4, and that's right. Super wide thing.
Yeah. So you could make some pretty image. For 2012, you could make some pretty images. And look down on your crop sensor brethren.
Yeah, that was what it was just the full frame. I thought there's nothing else around that's going to do that at that.
And no record limit, which was crazy rare.
Because it was a camcorder.
Yeah.
It wasn't an SLR, yeah.
Sorry, Jim.
Harrison made a comment. Harrison, did you have the EA50U or did you have the camera that Ben chose? I'd be interested to find out. All right, here we go.
6D.
Oh, maybe. Okay, here we go. So here is my time machine challenge, and we are going to start off. I've got about 2 products per page, so let's see what everybody thinks about this one. Here we go. We're starting off on page 1 here, and we're basically in the grip. So I've got 3 air-cushioned heavy-duty light stands from Impact. So those were $38.95 each. So we're at about $117 for the 3 of them. One of my favorite little kits to this day, the mini grip kit from Matthews. We've got 4 mini grip heads. We've got 2 mini Mathelinis. I never use the rods that come with them, but they're so versatile when you're just trying to hook things up and do things that I had to have that inside of my kit. And then we go to page 3, and here we are. We have, obviously, got to have a C-stand in there. So I've got a C-stand with a 40-inch arm. This is the one with the sliding leg. So that's, you got to do what you got to do, and you got to be able to use it in a lot of situations. And then this is a light that still exists in my kit. This is the Pro Light from Lowell, $120, and it's focusable-ish. It's a decent little light. I needed something for a kicker and just to have something inside of the kit to be able to do some things. What, Caleb, are you thinking?
So what watt is that? What wattage is that?
The Lowell Pro.
Volts.
Yeah, so the Lowell is, maybe I should have gotten a 120. I didn't even realize that.
That's going to go bang when you put
over
there.
You're going to get a 220 tickle.
Okay, well, I'm sure they have.
Or a negative 110 tickle.
Same price in the States, come on.
Sure.
This is what my one
giving. It won't even turn on. It'll be like you might as well just have a candle.
Okay, so
you're doing that thing.
So I did a job once in the Czech Republic. Actually, it was in Praha, and I showed up with a DP. We were shooting an electronic press kit for a music company, and they were recording with the Prague Symphony Orchestra. And what we did is we brought with us the standard 3-head kit from Arri. So you've got the 300, the 650, and the 1K head. And
legendary kit.
Legendary. The kit of kits. I mean, back then it was that kit and the Lowell stuff is what people were using. And the Lowell stuff was cheaper, but the kind of standard kit was that 3-head kit. So what we did is we made sure that everything was going to be rated for 220. But when we got to the hotel and we did a test, we forgot to get the right bulbs for the heads. So they're different bulbs. So what we did is we turned the light. I think we turned the 1K on first, and we were in this Holiday Inn that used to be a government building that they converted to a hotel, and then there was a casino on the top floor. Yeah, it was ridiculous. And we basically took out probably 3 or 4 floors of the hotel. Everything went dark in the hotel as soon as and the bulb broke. And what we did is we quickly hid the whole lighting kit underneath the bed. because we didn't want to get caught. And then the next day before the shoot, we went to, because Mandy.com was the resource back then to find out where you could find things. And I had written down all this stuff. So we basically went to the lot where there was a rental house, and we rented a 3-light kit from them that was proper with the right bulbs and everything. And they drove us back to the hotel. They picked up the kit from us when we were done with our shoot 3 days later, and it was $125 for us to rent the kit for the 3 days. So it was that was my negotiated rate, but it was fun. Okay, so back to that. So there you go. So we've got a little Pro Light that we will pretend is a 110 for the U.S., but price is the same. And we go in here, and we start to take a look at some real lighting. So I'm going quartz halogen for most of my stuff. The OmniLight is a rock star of a light, 500 watts, full color spectrum. I got the whole kit because it comes with a light stand, the bulb, barn doors, which are very useful for this light. Great for bouncing. You can use this with book lights. It's a 500 watt draw. Love this thing, still have it. And then my main light in the kit, I went for the Lowell Rifa EX. So this is an adaptable kit. So inside of there is a 750 watt. And what I wanted to do is make sure I built a kit that I could run on a 20 amp circuit if I needed to. So basically, if we do the numbers here, I can get away with it. I could probably actually push a 15, not a 10, obviously. And then what I did is, if we move to the next page, because it's the Rifa EX, I bought the 3-lamp module. So you take the tungsten or the quartz halogen insert out, and then you put this insert in, and you can put 3 fluorescent lamps in there, and you can go daylight if you want. So I wanted to have adaptability to be able to go between basically tungsten and daylight. And then I have 3 of the big boys, the 105 watt spiral compact fluorescents. So there's 3 of those inside of the kit, so I can do a daylight option if I want. And then we move to the next page. I have an Impact 42-inch 5-in-1 reflector kit, but it comes with a light stand and a holder. And this is similar to what Ben was doing. This light stand is going to be used really for my audio. So I've got a reflector in the kit, but I wanted to make sure I had a stand with, basically a 3/8 on the end if I wanted to be able to put a shock mount. I've got some quarter blue CTB inside of here, and the reason I have 2 of those is if I go back to this page, you will see that the lamps are 5,000 Kelvin for the compact fluorescents. So I figured if I want to bring them up closer to daylight, I've got some quarter CTB inside of there, and that should cover it. 2 of those 20 by 24 sheets should be able to cover that Rifa light if I get a little bit of tape on there. Moving on to the next page, this is a big buy. There were no Westcott book lights and things like that back then as far as I know, but this kit from Chimera is a killer kit. $642, $643. You've got 2 48 by 48 frames. I still use a frame like this. You've got silver gold, you've got white black, quarter grid, half grid, single scrim, double scrim, a little duffel to hold everything. I love these little things, and they break down to 24 inches, those particular frames. So they're 4x4 frames that break down into 22 and into 24-inch frames. Make sense, everybody?
Yep.
Good. Here we
Minus
go.
the gold and silver stuff. That's a pretty sweet setup for today.
That is.
Yeah, I wouldn't.
Really
yeah,
is.
I don't care about the silver gold, but everything else is basically in there for you to be able to do a lot of stuff.
Who used somebody tell me who used silver gold? I feel like that was like beach.
I don't know about gold, but black.
Beach photo shoots, and that's about it.
Yeah, and also people with darker skin tones can take silver and gold a lot better. If you have lighter skin tones, it tends to not play as well. So yeah, but it's used. Got to have some dimmers in here, some squeeze boxes. So I've got a 1K dimmer in there for that Rifa 750. I've got 2 dimmers in there for the other 2 lights, for the Pro Light and for the Omni. So I actually have some control, and I don't need to have ND in order to bring those down. They will get warmer when you dim them, but I do have dimmers, kids, okay? Just for giggles, I've got a Cinegel swatch book inside of there for $2.50 because you never know. You might be thinking about what are the next gels that you need to buy for your kit, and I always like those, though they would give those away at B&H if you were at B&H back in the day. Got to have some C47s, so those are inside of there. And now we move on to audio. I've got, for my shotgun microphone, a Sennheiser MKE 600, which is actually quite a decent mic for $399.95. I do have a 30-foot XLR cable. I don't have to call Caleb
Where did
for
you
that.
find that?
Hey, now I found the whole page. That took me almost an hour to get to almost an hour to get to that one XLR cable. And I had to.
You have my respect for that. I searched and searched.
That was yesterday. That was yesterday. That was a bitch. Yes.
Okay.
Okay.
Well done.
Good.
Well done.
We're going on to here. I've got an H4n if I need it. So got to have one of those inside of the kit. And I'm going with the old standby back in 2012, the Sennheiser G3 wireless microphone system. So I think I have a fair amount of. A fair amount of stuff. I'm figuring that I'm doing the mail-in rebate, so I'm taking the $579.95. So screw you if you have a problem with that. Okay, here we go to the next thing.
What? Whoa!
Where's
this rebate?
Right there, price after rebate, $579.95. I'm not making shit up. I'm very transparent. Come on, I'm taking.
Well, here's the problem I have with that, Jim.
Okay, I'm ready. I'm waiting.
Offer ends December 31st, 2012. Okay, so you have some time. Because your other item was out of stock temporarily, so if you couldn't technically order this.
So basically, you just waited 30 seconds. All right, here we go. We got to go fast. We got to go because you've got your kit. Okay, all right. Tripod system. This is where I feel like I completely and utterly failed, but I needed something that was going to be heavy enough to deal with stuff. Davis and Sanford, Pro Vista video. We've got the FM18 on here, 18-pound tripod load capacity. We've got a head that should handle the camera system I have. I'm not super happy with this, but it is what it is. And when I get my first job, I'm going to invest in a Miller. So there you go. There we go. Next, we're going to move on to lenses. So found some stuff. I originally wanted the 17-55. EF mount lens from Canon, the 2.8, but I didn't have enough money, so I had to go with the Sigma 17-50, which is also a 2.8, and APS-C. I found one in the used department for $479.95. I figured I'm going to have that lens on my camera system.
Oh, you sneaky bastard.
What? So why is that sneaky?
The no, it's brilliant. The screenshot shows the used department price.
Yes, sir.
You didn't actually go to the used department.
Well, I couldn't.
Because that
it didn't
never
exist.
Loaded for me. Not once.
Yes, but I figured there it is. No, it didn't.
That's 100%. That's brilliant.
Thank you.
I tried to go to the used department so many times and it never loaded.
No,
ever.
but then about hour 5, I realized they were sometimes listing some of the used department stuff, so I went ahead and did it. Okay.
Nice hack.
Second lens, I'm also doing something similar. An old standby, the 70-200 f4 IS, used department $899.95. That goes into the kit. I've got a 77mm Very ND filter, which will fit both the 17-50 and also the 70-200 because they both have 77. If I had gotten the other lens, the 17-55, that has a 67mm, so I would have had to buy another ND, which was in the cart before. This is my outside of the box purchase here, which is a Canon EF to Sony NEX Smart Adapter 2 from Metabones. And here we go on the camera system I have chosen is the NEX FS100U Super 35mm sensor camcorder for $41.99, and that is my camera that I went with.
I nearly went with that one too.
And here's my total.
Interesting.
$9,999.28. And there you go. And that's my kit, everybody. Right, there we go. Yeah. That's it.
No beers in that for Jem.
What?
Extra points for that.
You haven't got enough for a beer in there, but that's amazing.
Okay, there you go. That's my kit. That's my kit. Good. So
Caleb, Sony so far.
Well, yeah. no beer money for Jem, but look, I got some real kit that I can get the job done with, Harrison. So let's jump right into you, Caleb. You're going to drive this ship or steer it.
All right.
And here we are. Whoa.
My document.
Okay, so you've got you have some money to spare in yours.
Yes.
Okay, and let's start to go through this. We've got 15 pages, and I'm excited to see your kit.
Here we go. Page 2. 6 stands, 10 feet. And a lot of this stuff I owned, actually, because I was just starting to get, gear. So that's, or, move up from, basic, awful stuff. Let's go on to page 3.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
You there?
Yes, I am. Oh, and I had this in my kit. I had that in my kit, brother.
It's a great light, man.
That impact.
So this is the Octocool 9 bulb sockets.
Amazing.
All individual switches. Comes with I'm trying to remember the size of the softbox. I want to say it's 42 inches.
Okay, I did not have that in the kit.
42.
I had the other thing in my kit, the little cheapo down there. Yeah, go ahead.
So this comes with rods, everything. What I love about this light, and I use them forever, is it's around a 12-inch dish that you can use, or you can add the softbox. So imagine this is the poor man's, the 120D didn't exist yet.
Yep.
You wanted to use a softbox. So I have 3 of those. That gives me around 800 watts of draw, not output. So that's a pretty decent amount. That's a lot of soft light if I want to put all 3 together, 2 together, 1 is a fill. The bulbs pretty much match. And then I have 2 of these. I actually had both of these, several of them. 2 of these essentially sockets on a stand. So I could take a bulb or 2 out of the fixtures and put them into these little, sockets, and then use those in the background, rim light, hair light, whatever. So, yeah.
Those are great.
And then,
I remember those. I've used those.
Wood, oak little handle on there and all that.
Yep.
Moving on to page 4.
Yep.
We've got some filters, so I can mix it up. Got some. You gotta have if you're not doing LED, and you don't have a lot of control, you have got to get yourself some black wrap.
Okay, can we talk a little? Can I have to punch a little bit of a hole into this system right here?
Okay,
just a little bit. These are 12.
No hard light. I know.
No, these are 12 by 12 gels. So that's a little hard on the size of the light that you're bringing. Or are you going to modify the little lights?
I'm good to go, man.
Why?
Well, the 12 by 12 will cover that dish. So I put it inside the softbox.
Oh, you bastard. Okay, let's go.
Velcro back.
Okay, I love it.
Okay.
Okay, good. All right.
So I've got a huge array of colors. No RGB back then, but I can do some color. Moving on to page 5.
Yes.
I've got myself, unlike you 2 hacks, I've got a proper combo boom stand from Manfrotto.
Hey, I have a C stand, brother. So let's not give me too hard.
Yeah, but you're not gonna go 12.8 feet on that bad boy.
Bastard. Okay, I didn't.
So I could go way out there. I've got a Rycote. This is a hot shoe adapter, but it does have a 3/8, so I can put it on my stand. Rycote shock mount, and the big ticket item for audio, page 6.
Yep. Hey!
416. Shoddy. I just realized I don't think I have an XLR cable, so that's a problem.
You can borrow mine.
I've got $100 extra. There you go.
Yep.
Page 7.
Wow.
Cop in Gem. We've got the G3 wireless kit. I had the G2s and ran those puppies into the ground.
Oh, me too.
Owned those for a decade, and they're just the best. So cheers, Sennheiser.
The G3s I use still all the time. Just never ever had a problem with them ever.
Yep. So good.
The mic sucked. Okay, we'll keep going. Okay.
Yeah, no, the mic. Yeah, you switch the mic out for sure.
Okay, next. Yep.
That boy. Page 8.
Oh,
Juice-Link.
I love you right now. Amazing. My 333 isn't. I just took it out of a box the other day. I still have this. This
so
is
good.
The Rockstar.
I honestly almost teared up when I added this to my list. This sounds so dumb, but Juice-Link saved the day.
They really did. They were amazing.
The day. The preamps on this device, as silly as that logo looks, was astounding.
So
amazing devices.
You could not. Let's be honest here. There was nothing outside of what Sound Devices was doing that would get you anything. As quiet beside the JuiceLink stuff. I mean, that guy really knew his stuff.
Silent.
Yeah. They were amazing.
You could honestly do an A/B test with this and, like you said, sound devices, and have a really hard time figuring out which is which.
Yeah, those preamps were those. It was a bitch for me to get it set up the first time, but once I had it all dialed in, I absolutely love that. Okay, we're going back to your list.
I never figured out the AGC disabling.
But
that's another pain in the ass.
Yeah, I agree with you.
So awesome device. So that gives, and it comes with a 3.5 millimeter cable.
Yep.
Next up, page 9, we have Davis and Sanford, and you were pooping on this tripod system.
Well, I wasn't pooping on it. I don't have any experience with it, so I picked it because you guys talked well about it.
I actually still have, it's over 10 years old, I still have the tripod setup.
Just remember, I have a dolly with mine because I spent a little extra, so I can do some extra stuff. I do too. You have wheels. It
includes 3 Davis.
The rubber wheels.
No, that comes.
It's no, you're right. Oh, so you you just don't have.
It's one of those little folds open, gives you 3 wheels. Whole thing.
I'm just giving you.
So this guy, honestly, anything they still sell them today. They're great. No counterbalance adjustment, no friction adjustment, but it is a monstrous head that's pretty great. So you can still pick these up today, and they're awesome.
Wait,
got the riser on there.
Is Bill tapping my house? How do you know I'm making dinner tonight? It's true, but it's kind of scaring me a little bit. Okay. Okay, so we both have the same transport. Yeah, go ahead. Oh, page 10. Okay.
Page 10.
Legendary. Still have it, for sure.
This lens, you had to have it. You had to have this lens back then. This was the wide-angle lens.
And a steal back then. It really was. I mean, for $5.99.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. So,
it's not hold on. It's not a full frame lens, so we might start to get a little bit of an idea of where we're going.
Here?
Very interesting. Okay, here we go.
And time to reveal the camera. Page 11.
Here we go. There we go. Okay, so we have some stuff to discuss here.
So tell me. I'm behind. I'm having to look at this on the stream.
Blackmagic. Yes.
So for third mount.
Why not the Canon EF mount? Because they made it in that.
Because adapters, baby. And because I'm from 2020 going back in time, I know that this is the better buy because you'll be able to eventually, when Metabones invents the speed booster,
yes,
do stuff with this. So the reason I picked this camera is in 2012, I wanted nothing to do with this camera because it's Micro Four Thirds. What are you talking about? Get that crap out of here. We have full frame. But aging, knowledge, wisdom. This camera for $3,000 back then. Now you can pick them up for $500. I actually bought one recently for an upcoming video. 2.5K, so bigger than HD. 12-bit RAW and ProRes. This camera, honestly, even to today, people who really know their stuff, this is the next best thing aside from an Alexa. When it comes to the sensor, the highlight roll off, this camera is like a fan favorite.
Okay, so there's no question that this camera, Caleb, from a sensor standpoint, in my opinion, was the best sensor that Blackmagic put into a camera up until maybe the Ursa Mini Pro G2, the 4.6, and some of the stuff that they're doing now. But without a doubt, that, and then my second favorite sensor back then was the little pocket, the 1080 camera, the little true pocket camera. But the battery only lasted about 3.5 minutes. But honestly, that sensor was a Rockstar sensor. The only problem, and this was the other camera that was in my list, and it dropped to $19.95 a year later, by the way, which is ridiculous. Wow. They were still playing those games back then. That camera is sensor size wise, everybody has to understand, which is why you need to have that 11:16 in there. It's like a 2.5x crop, right? I mean, it's like a big
not
deal.
A 2 or 1.9 like we have with Micro Four Thirds today.
Yeah, so it's a relatively small sensor. So if you're adapting lenses to that camera system, you really do need to have wide lenses. For sure.
Yeah, and I'm convinced when Metabones came out with the speed booster, this camera in a way, sort of save this camera.
Yep. So do we have other pages here?
We do. So next page 12.
Yep.
I actually found an adapter through this whole madness we had to go through. So this gets me that Takina on the camera.
Mm-hmm. Amazing.
This is one of the few Micro Four EOS or EF2 Micro Four Thirds cameras that was available. Next page, page 13.
Yes.
Quick question on the adapter.
I was waiting for this. Okay, good.
Page 12.
So
wait.
with this being Canon rather than Nikon, and aperture control, does that give full control over the lens?
This lens has a fake aperture in it. It's not ideal, but at the time, this is all you were able to do.
Okay. But you can still drive the aperture with that adapter and that camera, so that's cool.
Sort of. It's not the lens's aperture. There's an aperture inside of this.
Inside of the adapter.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And
then
we
we have
13.
You have a super fast lens.
Voigtlander 17.5 f0.95. This is one of my favorite.
Okay, Kubrick. I like it.
I wouldn't purchase it.
Good.
But,
and then do we go to the next page? 14?
Next page, 25 millimeter f.
Nice.
0.95.
Super fast. This is smart. So you're going to get, what is this, a 60 plus millimeter field of view, maybe closer to 70 plus. And but you're really fast, so you're going to push this so you can get a shallower depth of field. That's basically.
Right. So these two lenses give me, 40 to 50 somewhere, and like you said, 60 to 70, and then that 11 to 16 gives me a little bit of love on the wide end.
Yeah, you're
but
saving.
Really,
yeah,
really fast, which I gotta do for that lens. That camera.
Well, you have to because it's a 25 millimeter lens. So if you were shooting at a 2.8 to a 4 on a 25, you wouldn't really get probably what you wanted. So that's interesting. Right. Okay, and then do we go to page 15?
Last page. This is a tribute to Kevin. I put all my numbers together in a spreadsheet, so I figured while I was there, I just go ahead and throw together one of his cute charts.
Beautiful.
So there you go. The spread.
Unbelievable.
So that's it.
That is a fascinating kit. I like that one. I could not figure out how to make that camera work for the challenge. And it was more so than the EA50U, Caleb, was really in that cart and in the challenge for longer than anything else until I went with the FS7, the 100. I could not figure out the lensing on that. And please change your battery pack, Ben. I think that was great. Lighting choices were really interesting. And you know what I did find on there? Westcott had this yellow 500 watt tungsten light continuous that they were selling for $39.95, and you could buy a 2-pack for less than $80. And I had one of those in my kit, but it got removed because I just needed to make some changes to some stuff. That was a real rock star kind of kit thing that I wanted to put inside of there. But really killer stuff overall in terms of the kits. What did everybody think about the Time Machine Wayback Machine challenge that we had? I'd be interested to see if there's any other last comments about that. I didn't realize it was going to take this long to get through these kits. Caleb, your thoughts?
To, get in that nostalgia.
I know.
I think it was good. We had Sony representing.
Yep.
Fluorescent.
Yep.
Was kind of the theme with lighting.
Yep.
What else? We kind of skimped out on tripods overall, the three of us.
Very much so.
But we've got full frame, Super 35, and Micro Four Thirds between the three of us. So there it is.
I'm doing
interesting.
I just gotta show everybody this. I'm doing some weird stuff.
That's actually not a bad if you've got if you're wearing, able to handle the heat.
I mean, look how cheap that thing is.
Not a bad move. Yeah, it's incredible.
Yeah. Are we gonna get Ben back here, or does he have no more batteries left? That's crazy.
His audio must be going through the camera.
Okay, Neil's into it.
The poor guy. We did go over by 4 minutes, so technically his battery would have made it.
That's true. I think Caleb's would produce the best images that would stand up to today. Interesting. That's from Clay. Neil says, into
if I had a big enough room.
If you had a... there he is. Oh, good. Benjamin said never had pattern noise with his BMD. I still think the 2.5K was the Rockstar sensor of all of the cameras. They got lucky with whatever they pulled off of the shelf and put into that camera. And it was the beginning of the strange form factor for them, right? I mean,
man. That's one thing we didn't talk about is how awful that was.
It's not that much better than the new...
include media.
Yeah, but what about the pocket cameras?
SSDs back then.
I had SSDs. You know what? I made exception to that, Caleb. I had an SSD in there because I figured that falls outside of the SD card realm. So, but I'm not giving you a hard time about that. But it was hard. Really, really hard. Look, Harrison got sentimental. So happy with the gear we have today. So am I. It's ridiculous what you can get. I mean, just camera choice wise, you can go out and spend $1,000 right now and look at what you can get. I mean, the Pocket 4K, is the Pocket 4K down to $1,000 or is it $1,295 still?
I think it's still $1,300. Yeah.
But for $1,300, there's more than one choice on the market to get some pretty incredible stuff.
Yeah. Even the GH5, which is still, I think, one of my favorite cameras of all time, is just stabilized. It's got log, high bit rate. It's ridiculous.
I looked
card slots.
I looked for almost an hour because I don't know the Panasonic cameras as well in the mirrorless, and I was looking for almost an hour for a GH4, not realizing and not Googling when it was released, because that was going to be the basis of my whole kit as well. That was another camera that I was going to do because it was really the first kind of affordable 4K camera, wasn't it?
Yeah, that camera was epic for about a year and a half, 2 years, and then when the GH5 came out, it game over for the GH4.
Yeah. All right. Well,
history maker for sure.
Yeah. Well, this one was fun for me. Hopefully everybody in the chat had a good time taking a look at this old kit. If you've never seen some of this kit, then you got to see some today. And for a lot of people, I have a feeling that it was stuff that they used. And I keep waiting for that.
Gotta say real quick.
Yeah.
I hate to interrupt, but we have to applaud the three of us. No one picked a 5D.
Nope.
And no one picked a 7D.
Nope.
Yeah.
That's big. That's big.
I agree with you. That is huge.
Yeah.
Pleasure as always, gentlemen. Parting words from each of you. And I did post inside of the chat, there's a link to a happy half hour that will start 3 or 4 minutes after we're done with this. So if you want to scroll up and find the link and the password, you can do that, and you can jump in there and we'll just have a chat to kind of follow up and talk about some of the stuff we had in our kits today. Parting words, Ben, before you go to bed?
Producing this was hell. Honestly, if none of you have gone on to this using the time machine thing and going back and looking at, say, just go and have a scroll through B&H and work out how difficult that was. It was horrible putting it together, but it's been absolutely brilliant going through them all. And a bit of nostalgia. And I think, again, great that we've picked such different stuff and all completely usable kits to produce some decent work with. So I'm over the hell and into the good bit now with that. this nice. Whole challenge, but we're not doing this ever again.
We're not. That would be so fun. But okay.
If it indexed the entire site, you could search it. Great.
Maybe we just use News Shooter for prices.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. That'd be fine. Yeah,
that could be a new challenge.
Sure, just not using B&H. Yeah.
All right. Yeah. Well, I need Ben for you to think of a topic for next week. We're not going to spend 4 or 5 minutes trying to figure that out right now, But I was thinking maybe something in the realm of favorite lenses or something like that, where we could talk about things like that. Because I think that's something we haven't talked about in a while, and why. And I think it could bring up the conversation of focal lengths and sensor sizes and things like that. Any thoughts on that? Would that be interesting to everybody? Maybe or not? No.
We could.
No, I guess not.
I think if we did this as a bit of a show and tell thing to a degree with, like, as to why particular focal lengths and with some examples and things. I think if it's just because I think we talk about this quite a lot generally.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know.
Amongst other things.
Feelings, Caleb, on lenses? I know you have to go, but any thoughts, or should we save that for another day? You don't seem too excited.
Yeah, we'll have to talk about it. Come up with the kind of. Well, we've talked about our favorite lenses. We talked about vintage, I think, lenses at some point.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's more talking about lenses and using them in different types of productions and why you might choose certain focal lengths for certain spaces and what you're doing. Definitely something I've been thinking about more, and I look at that differently than I did even a few years ago. You know, I always kind of gravitated to that sort of 35 plus, millimeter focal length in the past, and I find that as I gain a patina, that I lean more towards wider focal lengths for things in terms of the things that I'm doing, but for certain reasons. So I don't know. Maybe that's something we can discuss. But if you have some other ideas, Ben, let us know. And parting words, Caleb, before we get out of here.
2020 has been rough, but small, little, tiny upside. Man, we're fortunate to be able to be making content in today's world. Because going back, man, it was rough. The fact that we can own a kit of aperture lights and be able to do unbelievable things is awesome. So,
yep,
it's a good time to be making videos.
Love that everybody comes every week. Love this challenge, Caleb, as hard as it was, and I like the camaraderie not only with us as friends, but with everybody who's part of this show every single week. Hopefully it allows you to sort of just shut off what's happening in the world for a short period of time and just sort of have a chat about and talk about the things that we love and that we love to do. And we'll come up with another topic for next week. Let's have a chat before the weekend, gentlemen, about that. Have another drink if you need to, and if you don't, then go get some food or go to bed. And thank you. Subscribe to the channel. You guys are amazing. And we'll see you next week at 3 p.m. Pacific. I'm going to the logo, and then we're going to go ahead and finish this thing.